Hey guys, yeah, bit of a vlog to go along with this brief channel update I want to let you know about. And if you hear anything in the background, I'm doing some laundry right now. I gotta get myself ready in a little while because between today and tomorrow, is my second oldest nephew's 16th birthday, or as my sister puts it on the Facebook invite, his sweet 16th birthday. So, yeah, a lot is going. So, yeah, if you hear anything in the background, like I said, it's my laundry and all that. But anyway, I wanted to come on here to give you guys, like I said, a bit of a vlog about what's been going on as far as like Christmas shopping and stuff like that goes. And also, to start things off, give you guys a bit of a channel update as far as my channel goes and how it concerns mostly Christmas and New Year's. Now, let's start off with Christmas. Now, I can't really say what's going to happen there because the one thing about my family, Pacific members that is they are very, how do I put it? They're very private. There are certain things that you could do and all that, but there are also certain things you kind of have to see if it's okay with them. So Christmas is kind of up in the air. New Year's, on the other hand, um, that's up in the air too, but again, we'll have to wait and see. I know a lot of people, believe it or not, this is hard to believe, a lot of people do upload on YouTube Christmas morning, New Year's, celebrating the New Year's and all that. And I get it. I get that. And I know that's not for everybody. So, again, those are kind of up in the air, but if I can do something, I'll do it. If not, then, I did the best I can. The only thing I might do, the only thing that I might do is kind of show you the Christmas haul that I got. Whether it's all the presents or gifts that I received this year, or it's not, and I have to wait until the next day or that weekend, I will at least show you guys what I got so far, or what I got this year. Heck, what's funny is that me and the family I live with, or my family that I live with, I should say, and this is, again, it's kind of what's crazy. Let me see, just trying to look at something here. Okay, this is what's crazy. Um, like I said, this is what's crazy. Some of the gifts we got last year we haven't even used yet. That's the truth. That is the absolute truth. I mean, I'll put it this way. The family member I live with now was given a record player, a Victoria record player. You know how the vinyls are coming back into style. It's kind of a nostalgic thing, but they're coming back into style. Well, she was given a record player that has Bluetooth and everything, and she hasn't even used it yet because she still has my grandpa's record player, which has a cassette player and all that. And like I said, she still has she still has my grandfather's, which I'm looking at right now. I'll just give you a quick glimpse. It's right there. But anyway, she still has my grandfather's, and it works. But these are more updated, more like in kind of a hybrid of what you would expect something of nostalgic to be like when it's combined with today's technology. Now, with that said, though, again, she hasn't even had a chance to do that because, you know, here's the thing. Here's the thing about a lot of families. You get a lot of gifts, and unless you have use for them, you put them to the side as sort of being like, okay, I'll get to that when I need it, or you actually start using it and replacing what you had before with it, so that you can be like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna save my original one as a backup, or something like that. I don't know, but it's basically in that manner. It's basically in that manner that basically um, you know Christmas giving is at. Not saying that not everything gets used. It does. Don't get me wrong about that. It's just one of those situations where it's like, as me and my family have all agreed upon, it's hard to decide what to get for somebody when you don't really know what they need anymore. Because it's like, okay, I want to get them this, but are they going to like it? Sometimes you go with instinct and say, well, I'll get them this because it's something I would like. And usually that's a success because it is a necessity, I should say. That's what I'm trying to say. It is a necessity. But sometimes it may not work out that way, but perhaps in the end they'll end up using it anyway because it, like I said, it'll be a necessity that they will need in the end. Now, like I said, it's fun, but like I said, that's probably the closest I'm gonna do. Oh, it's probably just show you what I ended up getting as part of my part of Christmas this year. That's all I'm probably gonna be able to do. New Year's, again, that's up in the air. Might be able to get a countdown. Maybe I might. What I'm thinking is I might be able to get a live countdown um, aired when it happens, so that at least, ladies and gentlemen, you could see that. Again, I'm not saying that's possible or anything. The only thing I can think of doing is if there's a countdown, and let's say I'm here at home with my family, is going to my room and doing the countdown so that I could do it without any issues or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. As far as my work schedule goes, my work schedule is kind of unusual. It's kind of gotten to that time of year. And the Even Pay app kind of confirmed my suspicions as to maybe why my hours and others, along with me, other associates slash employees hours are being cut or shortened for right now, and that is the fact that it's the end of the year. I say this because I usually go to the Even app to kind of add a little bit more to my paycheck. Well, that might be a little bit more difficult because between the 21st and the 31st, that's not going to happen because Walmart needs to gather all their information in for the rollout, for the end of the year rollout, and for tax preparation. As I pretty much figured was the reasoning, could be one of the reasonings, I should say, behind myself and others having our hours cut. It's basically they gotta roll out the numbers financially and everything, and they gotta cut back on hours in time for all this. And if the Even app is not going to allow anybody to get a little bit of an advancement to add to the check they'll be getting at that time, the advancement being maybe half of what the upcoming check after the check that's coming up right then and there, kind of confusing, right? I'll put it this way. In fact, I'll show you. As a matter of fact, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see this here? This was last week. This was this recent week. Okay? I got paid on this day. I got paid on this day. Next week, I don't get paid. This upcoming week, I don't get paid. This week I do. Or the week of Christmas I do. Here's what I'm talking about. With this check, I added a little bit more from the check that was going to be based on this week and based, I should say, on this past week and this upcoming week, which would have been the Christmas week check, the week of the 20th, the week, which would have been the Christmas week check, is what I'm trying to say. So that's basically how it's done. Like, basically, you get half of your upcoming check that you get 2 weeks after the check you'll be getting within that week, within your pay week, I should say. So I know, again, it sounds convoluted. I do apologize. So anyway, basically, usually I use the Even app to do that, to help me out with bills and stuff like that in the long run. You know what I'm saying? To help me with bills and stuff like that in the long run. Well, that's not going to happen between the 21st and the 31st because, like I said, it's not going to be allowed because my job has to do a end of the year rollout, as far as finances go, as well as to get prepared. That goes along with them, I should say, getting ready for tax season starting around the beginning of next year. Which, as crazy as it sounds, and I know I sound like I rambled for a bit, ties in with the fact that myself and others are having their hours cut. It's all due to the financial reasons. Now, to get back to what I was trying to say, and I know I'm about 12 minutes 5 seconds in. Get back to what I was saying. My schedule, because of what the Even app is even saying that they're going to be doing in preparation for the end of the year rollout and tax preparation as far as my job is concerned. Again, the shortage of hours or the cuttage of hours with myself and other associates is also part of that. So my hours this upcoming week go like this. Tomorrow I go in at 10:30 in the morning. The next day I go in at 11:30. And then on Wednesday I have the house completely to myself. Yep, I have the house completely to myself on that Wednesday. And then basically Thursday and Friday, I believe, if I'm right, I go in at 11:45 in the morning. Now, the following week is very similar, except for Monday. And here's what gets me. Monday, they have me going in at 8:30, doing a full 8-hour shift. Then Tuesday, they have me doing 11:30 to 4. I'm off on Christmas, of course, because everybody's off on Christmas, no matter where. Then I go back in at noon on Thursday, and then I do 11:45 on Friday. And here's what's crazy about this, guys. Here's what's crazy, what's unusual to me about this. You would think that they would want someone like me at 8:30 to 5:30 on Christmas Eve. As crazy as that sounds, you think they would want me there until at least they close the store, which they're going to be doing at 6 p.m. that is. You think they would want me there the whole day instead of just 4.5 hours. It doesn't make sense. And you think maybe they'd want the same thing for the day after Christmas, knowing you're going to have people wanting to do returns. Again, it doesn't make sense. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to get them to switch it or what, but again, it just doesn't make any sense to me why they would schedule me like that. It doesn't. Does it make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Be honest with you guys. It does not make any sense to me because here's the thing. What would you Because here's the thing, like I was saying, what would be the more, logical hours to place someone, schedule someone to work? What is the most logical hours? Especially when it's a holiday. In fact, the biggest holiday of the year. What would be the most logical hours? 4.5 or 8 hours? I'm just saying. Now I know some of you might say, "Well, Brian, you should take advantage of that because that way you don't have to go wake up early and you can leave early and have more time." And you're probably right. And you might say, "Well, Brian, you've been at your job for what, 5.5 years now? You've built up enough whatever the word is, um, sonority, if you will, that sonority, whatever it is. That's the word, I guess. Or you've gained enough experience. You have enough experience in sonority at the job that maybe that's why they want to give it to you off. And that might be true because we are hiring new people. And whether it's just seasonal people or people that are going to be permanent, who knows? And maybe that's why they want to have them there more than myself or anybody else that's more experienced. But the truth is, doesn't matter or not if it's experience or it's not experience, you're going to want to have all hands on deck on Christmas Eve. The same could be said for New Year's Eve. But yeah, my schedule right now has me off on Wednesdays. I'm not sure about New Year's Eve, which is a Wednesday. I'm not sure about New Year's Eve, which is Tuesday, I should say. Yeah, it's Tuesday. And I'm not sure about New Year's Day, which is a Wednesday. They might have me off that day. Who knows? I'll have to check my schedule on tomorrow because right now my job's website that allows us to do it is currently on the fritz. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if maybe this is all part of the end of the year deal. I don't know. But we can't look at our schedule just yet. So, yeah, anyway, basically, that's what's going on with my my schedule. Now, now, um, as far as some other things, now as far as the rest, what I'm trying to say, sorry about that, I'm still a little tired, but again, that's as far as my schedule goes. Now, as far as what happened, now as far as my other videos have gone, I have uploaded some new things, as you've noticed. And of course, one of the new videos I put up was about the decorations we got. And some of the new decorations that we ended up getting are right here. And I'm going to show you real quickly. I've already showed you in the video, that is, but I'll show you real quickly here. My mom got this carousel, which I think, I don't know if it has a switch around here or what. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Of course, it has a, I don't know, the switch is not on the bottom. Switch is not on the bottom, that's weird. Has a switch somewhere, I know it is. She found it at one point. Hold on for a sec. Oh, it's on the side. She placed it on the side, but she got this at my job. And it does that. It plays about 6. It plays about 6 to 8 songs, if you will. Yeah, it plays about 6 to 8 songs. So it does that. Just gotta fix it a little bit. I want to make sure it's fixed the right way. Hold on for a sec. She's very peculiar about things. Anyway, hold on, guys. Sorry about looking at the floor. All right, hold on. I don't know if I got it here. I got another. No, there it is. I she had it. Let me again get a double check here. So, yeah, it's the way she had it. I think. Yeah, it's the way she had it. Always got to make sure because you know how people are, and you know how your loved ones are. People are when you set things up. But anyway, yeah, basically, she bought that. So yeah, my mom bought the carousel a little bit, and like I said, she bought the carousel at my job. So, and she got it for a discount actually. One of my fellow associates discounted it for her because it was the only one, and it seemed to be missing a top, something on the top. So my mom put the bell there that I just had to put back myself. That I just had to readjust myself. She put the bell on there as a topping for it, so it kind of works out fine. It kind of works out fine. Now, as far as some other things go, um, this here, of course, I got last year, and it lights up, basically. It lights up. Let me see if I can place you somewhere. There we go. Hold on for a sec. It basically lights up. Like, you do this, and it lights right up. You can't really see it well right now because it's night. And then it does that if you go to another switch. Like the middle, when you switch it right to the middle, it goes off. You switch it to, I think, to the right, it just turns on. You go to the left, and it does that. And it plays about 2 songs. Now, this baby here is one of those trillers. And again, you can't really see it well during the day. But you saw, you look at the previous video, a couple 2 videos down, and you'll see what it looks like. Now this is what it looks like when you switch it to the left. It's just like that, that's all it does. But when you do this, you switch it to the right, it does that. And like I said, it looks a lot better at night, but as you can tell just by looking at my shirt right there, that's basically what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to reflect off the walls in a dark area. Then, this baby here, I got at my job, and it's got one of these switches. As you probably know, a lot of companies do this. They put out little villages, And one of the village buildings they have to have is based on the company. Like I'm sure Target has one, Kohl's has one. So my job has had this come out many times, and I figured, well, I've been there almost half a decade now, almost half a decade. Might as well get it. And as you can see, when you click on this thing here, it comes right on. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, that's sorry about that, but that's pretty cool. And then my mom did it like last year. She got my nephew this for his birthday, and and he was happy about it. And then my mom got this. And here's the one thing about my family: we always got to get something every year. We always got to get some kind of animatronic. Like before my job was built there was Walgreens, and I think Long's Drugs, which is now CVS Pharmacy. And she bought the reindeer. The grandma got run over by a reindeer, I think, at Walgreens. As well as she bought the Santa over at Walgreens. Now she has another one packed away. It's Charlie Brown, but we'll get that later if we do. And then she also bought this and then I bought this last year. I bought this last year, which is this. Unfortunately, the little thing in the back. Unfortunately, that thing's not working right. This thing's supposed to spin and along with the snow, but it's not anymore. And then my mom got this, and I figured she might like it. I was actually thinking at one time of getting it to take over to my sister's in Patterson during Thanksgiving, but it does this. So that basically was the plan a little bit. I want to make sure I adjust the thing right there, right? But yeah, like I said, that was the plan originally. But I didn't get a chance to do it. So basically, my mom ended up getting it the other day. We ended up, I should say, getting it the other day. And that's the other thing, too. And as you could probably tell, I'm getting more into the vlog portion of this video because, like I said, a channel update. As far as, like I said, upcoming videos, that's all going to depend holiday-wise. It's all going to depend on what goes down. But now that we're entering more into the vlog portion, which you can probably already tell, like I said, those are kind of what we got so far. We did get a few other things too, and I'll show you this right now real quickly. The Frozen related. I ended up, if I can find it, I ended up getting this for her. What happened is that one day I was checking somebody out, or somebody was, I think I was checking somebody out, and then I got this the other day right here. This is the Olaf one. I don't know if you can see that, but that's the Olaf one. It comes with a cake cookie, or cake you can put in there. But like I was saying, a couple of days ago, I was checking one of my customers out at the register, and I noticed they had an Olaf mug, and I'm thinking, where did they get that? So I just thought about, they obviously had to have Frozen mugs. And so we have the Frozen thing still up, the big banner with Elsa, Kristofferson, Olaf 7, and Anna. That big part of it's down, but we still have the display. So I went over there to look, and there was an Olaf mug, so I tried to hide it, but obviously somebody found it and got it. So I couldn't buy that. So I looked online. So I went to my company's app to look online as to exactly what we would have, and it didn't tell me exactly what aisle. So I looked around, and then I figured, wait a minute, it could be up front in one of those aisles that they set up for the holidays. And indeed, it was. Or at least the first mug I showed you. And then the other day, so was the other one. So it's like God saying, hey, look, here you go. Here's one with Elsa and Anna. And then here's one with Olaf. So, pretty cool. But, those are the only other things we got that's kind of new. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, You got all this stuff. You talk about Christmas shopping in your description. What do you mean by that? Okay. So, as you know, back on Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving Eve, and then the day of Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving itself, and then Black Friday, the day after, I ended up working. And so did everybody else. So, basically, what happens is every year they give us a 15% discount in addition to our 10%. However, in the past, we could only use our 15% during a certain time frame. In other words, within the span of 24 to 48 hours. So we couldn't really do anything, if you know, do it. So well, we could do something, but financially, if we didn't have the money, there's no way we could do anything at all. Well, that was kind of the case this year because Thanksgiving fell on the week we got paid. So we got paid the day before Thanksgiving, and we basically were paid 2 days before, or at least, I'll put it this way, we were paid basically a day and a half before the official start of Black Friday, which was at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving night. And 2 days before the official beginning of Black Friday, which was on Friday. So we got paid that week, and knowing it's Black Friday, we wanted to spend money on saving. We wanted to save money on items we wouldn't be able to get anytime soon or anytime else. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to, like I said, we wanted to spend money on other things. You know, save money on other stuff like TVs, game consoles, you name it. Well, because of that, the following week, usually about a week later or so, we end up getting our discount, and we're told we usually have 24 to 48 hours. Well, because of the fact that we got paid the week of Black Friday, Thanksgiving, and the day before Thanksgiving, and the fact that some of us, and some of my associates have concurred, basically have to rely on a paycheck week after week or every other week, the company decided, you know what, we're going to extend it, and that's what they did. They extended it basically to this past Friday. They extended it essentially from the 5th of December of this month to this past Friday. They gave us a little over a week to utilize our discount, and that's what I did. And this is what it says on there if you could read that. I don't know if you can actually read that, but that's what it says there. So yeah, that's basically what it is. And what's funny about it is it's known as a select card. It's a gift card, but it's called a select card. And I guess the more you spend, the more it gets taken off. Because when I would check out fellow associates that were easy for me to say, I could talk here. But when I would check out fellow associates that were using it, even the day they got it, the week they got it, it would take off maybe $30, $40, $20, $50 at most. And I was thinking it might do the same with me, like $30, $40, whatever. Nope. It took off about almost $75. Yeah, this past Friday, it took off nearly $75. Now, here's the thing about this past Friday. Originally, the plan was to kind of go half and half with my family member. That didn't happen. What happened instead was, because I had cable to pay, and I had other things to take care of as well, I ended up having less than I thought I would. Because you also have I have bills that automatically take out. So I ended up having a little less than I thought I would. So basically, I agreed because I do have to pay some rent. Oh, I have to start getting back into doing that. I agreed that I'm going to pay back best I can, even if it limits me. I'm going to pay back my family member for having to pay for a majority of this stuff. I mean, my family member even joked that they pretty much paid for their own gift, which technically they did and they did not. Hear me out. You see, over this past weekend, well, not this past weekend, but as you saw in a video, a couple videos down, I talked about the Black Web 4 dash, the Black Web, what was it, what's it called? I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. Okay. A couple of videos ago, I'm trying to say, is I talked about the Black Web 4 dash device HDMI switch with remote control. Excuse me there. But yeah, I was talking about the Black Web 4 dash device HDMI switch. And that's one of and the reason I talked about it is because that's one of the things I got with my expanded discount. The other thing I ended up getting, and I'll show you this in a moment, is a big old HDMI cord. Like I said, I'm going to talk about that in a moment. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Get ready. And then, of course, I added something to my pony collection. Again, I'll talk about that in a moment as well. But as far as gifts go, I did get some gifts for my family and my family member that was helping me. You pretty much know who that member might be. But anyway, the way I calculated it, what I spent pretty much was just about what I had. Pretty much adds up to what I got for myself and I got gift wise. Because I'll be honest with you. The HDMI switch, switch device, I should say, the 4-way HDMI switch device was about $29.47 from what I can tell. The HDMI cord or HDMI cable, which is 12 feet, one of the longest ones I've gotten, which is also part of the Monster brand, was about $17.24. And then the pony thing I got was about $19.99, around 20 bucks. Now you might say 30, 20 is 50, and then the other thing adds up, makes it about 68. You're probably thinking, oh, that's not too bad. Well, 68, 69. You're probably thinking, oh, that's not too bad, Brian. That's not too bad. That's where you'd be wrong. Because you see, I also ended up getting something for my nephew. Something for my nephew, which added on to that. Let's say you add on $10, $15 to that, to the current total. I got something for my second oldest sister, or at least helped out in that area. I got something for my mom, and that combined together, you could add up to about, I would say $32, $35. You add that along with the 10, which is about 40, 45, and to the 80. So yeah, pretty much there was plenty to go around. Pretty much. And in fact, I'm looking at it right now. I'm not going to show you guys, but I'm looking at it right now. That yeah, I'd say that what I spent nearly wiped me out. I'll put it that way. It nearly wiped me out. And so as a result, I've got to pay back my family member, my mom, if you will, for doing what she did. She didn't have to, but she did. And I did, and honestly, guys, despite what people say and people think, I did not want her to do that. That was not the intention. God knows that was not the intention. And I'm sure a lot of us have been in that position as well, where if we're going to collaborate on buying gifts for family members and friends, and we want to split the cost, then we usually want to make sure it's done evenly, but we don't, and we don't want the one or the other to pay more than the other. You can't, if that makes any sense. Like, if you're collaborating, like let's say you're with your siblings, and you say you're all gonna pay equal parts of the payment for the gifts, of the total, I should say, for the gifts, and one ends up paying more than the other two. It's not fair. It's not right, and you didn't mean for that, so you have to make it up to them, and that's what I got to do with my mom when I get paid again. Hopefully, by the grace of God, be able to make it up to her by giving her what I owe her giving her what I owe her, because what I owe her is what she spent. So, yeah. Um, so yeah, we even though we got some shopping done, and she's gonna probably get some done right now, because she says she's gonna stop at the store and take care of a few items. We kind of know what those are. Basically, I owe her in a big, big way. But speaking of which, again, I mentioned I ended up getting a few items. So hold on for a sec, guys, while I set this thing up here on my shelf without any problem. Okay. Hopefully no problems are there. Okay, guys, let me just straighten it up a little bit more. There we go. Let me go to YouTube real quickly, guys, and see what's going on here. Just, again, want to make sure everything's straightened out. Okay, looks like everything's okay. A little bit blurry. I don't think that's the camera or anything, so. I think it's just the sun a little bit that's coming in, so I do apologize for that. And, well, if you want to give, Wild Hops, if you're listening, if you want to give my character an opponent, give me the top anime guy you got on your roster. I'll go with him. And Sally, give her Elsa. I think those will do great, and thank you for including me in this little show you're doing. So thank you very much. Anyway, though, guys, like I was saying, I ended up, like I said, besides along with the gifts, I did end up getting a few other things as well for myself. Like I mentioned, and you saw in one video, I ended up getting this baby, which is an HDMI four-way. It's a 4-device HDMI switch with remote control. This basically will make it easier, I guess, to switch between two things, and it has an additional HDMI input, because of course I only have a 3-1 here. The 4th one I could probably utilize for the Roku device or for whatever. I might even figure out a way to put them all together. Who knows? But yeah, I got that. And then speaking of which, and I'm going to try to do this carefully, bring this baby out. This is a monster HDMI cable. This is 12 foot. Look at the size of this thing. Okay, guys, look. This is part of it, and we're going to pull it all the way up. This thing is massive. and then here's the other part. That's how big it is. It's 12 feet. Now you're asking yourself, why did you get a 12-foot HDMI cable, Brian? Well, here's the thing. At my job, usually about this time of year, or a little earlier, or at certain parts of the year, my job likes to put. Okay. And there goes a lot of stuff. Excuse me, guys, for a second. I have to fix this. But like I was saying, usually about this time of year, my job. Get this thing in there. There we go. Best I can do. But usually, at this time of year, and there goes the Roku device. Pick that up. But like I was saying, usually at this time of year, my job likes to. What I'm trying to say? Let me get some coffee here. What I'm trying to say here is, when I go to work, of course, to clock in, I got to go all the way to the back because that's what they recommend. Even though we have a computer up front and customer service that we can clock into, which a lot of people still do, they recommend that you go into the back and clock in that way, which is what I do so I don't get in trouble, because knowing my luck, I would get in trouble. But anyway, so when you go to the back, specifically on the left side of the store, left side of electronics, like you go into the electronics area, you turn to the left, you see where the restrooms are, you see the restroom signs, and then when you go straight forward, you go straight through that hallway. It's a very small hallway. But basically, you go through that mini hallway, you see the restrooms on this side, but straight forward is double doors into the back area. So you go through the double doors, and on this side, you see a big television screen. You're wondering why is that there? Because it doesn't usually get used that much during the rest of the year, except for certain points. Well, specifically around this time, they decide they're going to use it. So what do? They hook it up to. So what do? They take an HDMI cable. They take an HDMI cable, and they hook it up to a computer, to a laptop, similar, or if not identical to the one I have, probably more advanced. But they connect it to a laptop, and the reason being is because that way on the television screen, you could see in a much bigger, I guess, clearer and more in-depth color-wise, because you can see the difference. The color is a little bit more darker, a little bit more in-depth, if you will. But basically, you could view your computer and what you're doing on your computer on your television screen. Which does kind of give me the idea of how Angry Joe, Joe Vargas, and Andre Meadows of Black Nerd Comedy, and many of them end up doing some of their videos with the screen, with showing the computer and all that. But yeah, basically you could do that. So that got me thinking for quite some time. Man, I would like to do that myself just to see what it would look like. Especially the fact that I have my mom, right? So let's say, I don't know if her computer has an HDMI thing on it. I don't think it does. But I do know that possibly down the line she'll end up using my computer, or I end up getting her a new one anyway. Or she ends up using her Amazon Fire 8, which I think they do have HDMI connections for that, to view what she's doing on the big screen. So it would make it easier for her, if you know what I mean. Anyway, again, long story short, that's why I got the cable, because of the fact that I wanted to see what it would look like on the big screen, and if my mom needs me to look up something on my computer, but she wants to see a bigger picture of it, I could do it just like that. It'd be easier for her. But that's why I did it. It worked out in the end. Now the other thing I ended up getting for myself on the day I got used my the day I used my discount was this. This is the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Rainbow Equestria Favorites. Rainbow Equestria Favorites. Now you might say, well, that looks a little familiar, Brian. And it kind of does. Because it basically looks like, and I'm looking at it right now, it looks like the Princess Twilight Sparkle and Friends mini collection. Pretty much that's what it is. Except some of the molds have been remolded, if you know what I mean. Some of them have been changed. Like, you can see a little bit of a change, but it's basically the same collection. The only difference is they took out Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, and in the place they put like I said, and in the place they put Celestia and Flurry Heart. So yeah. So Flurry Heart and Celestia got put in the took the place of Silver Spoon and Diamond Tiara. So yeah. But this came out this year, I think. Yeah, this came out this year. It is, like I say, the Rainbow Equestria Favorites. So I've had my eye on this thing for quite some time. So I'm happy to finally get it. But yeah, basically that's what I ended up getting with my discount. Now, of course, I ended up getting some other things as well, even before that, and I will show you it right now. One of the things I ended up getting was this at my job. It sold for $10. Originally, it was a lot higher than this, but it went down. And like I said, it sold for $10, and it originally came out when the movie came out. And you could see that because one of the things they promote as a part of this is you turn it around, you have that. You can have that to display. So if you want to hang it on your wall or something like that, you have that to display it with. But it's a towel wrap. That's what it is. It's a towel wrap, as it's called. So yeah, it's a towel wrap. So I got that. Put that back here. Well, I'll put that back in a minute. But yeah, it's a towel wrap that I ended up getting. And then, on top of that, I also ended up getting this 2-piece bath set. And then, on top of that, I got this as well. So I ended up getting that. I'm going to put this back now for a second. And then I ended up getting this as well. And these items were all before I used my discount on Friday. Just checking stuff, making sure everything's okay there. Sticking out. But yeah, I ended up getting those items before Friday. So yeah, those were before I used my discount on Friday. And I was always, and here's the thing, it's hard not to use it because I promised my mom we were going to use it for the collaboration, or what I was hoping to be an even collaboration, but unfortunately was not, which means, again, I do have to pay her back, and I will. I'm going to pay her back the best I can. I said I'm going to owe her this portion, and I'm going to give it to her, even if, like I said, if it lowers me. But you know what? I owe it to her, long time coming, and I thank God she was able to help out the way she did. Now, honestly, like I said, that's pretty much about it. Besides besides the movies and the games I got during Black Friday, of course, like I've showed you before. Um, Pretty much that's all I can really say about what's been going on lately. I am currently in the process. I don't know if I'm going to have time today, but I'm currently in the process of trying to start my holiday collection, or at least do 1 or 2 discs of my annual yearly holiday movie specials collection. I'm trying to do that. But we'll see how that works out. The only other thing I got, and I know he's probably watching, Frank Hill gave me, and happy birthday to Frank Hill today. It's his birthday. It's Frank's birthday, so happy birthday to Frank Hill. Um, he sent me the Santa Claus movie, the one with Dudley Moore, and I do appreciate that. But like I said, besides that, not really much happening. Besides that, the only other thing I'll probably do a video on, and you're gonna probably see, and this is I'm thinking is gonna worry a lot of us because I don't think anybody's taking this into consideration. Today, the 49ers are at home against the Atlanta Falcons. And if they win, they clinch the playoff berth, if not the division. So it's going to be quite interesting going into where we're going to the place where we're going for my nephew's 16th today. So yeah, so if anything does happen, I'll probably film that, but that's pretty much all I'm going to be able to do as far as the rest of the day goes. But again, I just thought I'd come on here and, give you guys, like I said at the beginning, a brief update channel-wise as to what's going to be going on, especially with the holidays happening. And, and just give you a vlog about what's been happening, how things have been going Christmas shopping-wise, and, what we've been, what I've been up to and stuff. I mean, it's just one of those situations. Like I said, it's just one of those situations where, it's one thing, where you do this, where, basically catch you up on, on life, let you guys know how I've been doing and, what I've been doing, how I've been catching up, doing things. And, yeah, I'll tell you this too. I definitely don't miss working at night anymore. If I have to go back to nights at times, or they schedule me at that time because of certain reasons, then I'll accept it. But I don't really miss working at nights anymore because I'll tell you guys honestly, I know my job like any other retail job, like Target or Kohl's or whatever. You could encounter, whether it's yourself or your fellow associates, you can encounter some of the rudest, most annoying customers out there. Because here's what customers don't understand, and I know your customers as well when it comes to where I work, Target, Kohl's, wherever. Um, what some people don't understand is nowadays a lot of retailers, whether the regular retailers, supercenter, hypermart retailers, which is a hybrid of both grocery and non-grocery or whatever. What a lot of people don't seem to understand is these companies are pushing more towards the future, pushing more towards you know the advancement of technology, and in this case, things like self checkouts or the checkout with me situations. The checkout with me's are like real easy because all they are is somebody has a remote or has a palm, as we call it, which is work terms for a phone or a pad or iPod or an Android. And basically, what they do is they have the palm in the palm, and they have a printer connected to it. And if they see somebody doesn't have vegetables or anything that they have to weigh, and they don't, as well as they don't have that much items, even if they do have a lot of items, but if they don't have any vegetables they have to weigh, what the person will do with the palm is they will say, hey, are you paying with cash or card? If they say card, I can help you here. And if they're willing to allow themselves to be helped that way, then the person with the palm, the checkout with me deal, ends up scanning all their items, including cigarettes and alcohol. And then after it's all said and done, they ask them to insert the card. They insert the card under where the card slot is with the chip, if they have the chip, which primarily most do nowadays. And then they go through a few other steps, just like they would do at a regular card reader at a register. And then then they have the choice of either having the receipt printed to them, which we do most of the time, or text or emailed. So that's basically what I mean by advancement in towards the future. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Companies are trying to do. Retailers are trying to do. They're trying to, in their own mind, make it easier for the customer to shop, to get in, shop for what they need, and get out. That's why you now have the online services and the grocery online services, to where you can shop online, and if it's in store, you can order it at home and then go get it yourself. You don't have to wait in line to get it. It's right there. People pretty much shopped. Pretty much associates have gone around the store and got the items you needed, and all you have to do is just come pick them up. Grocery wise, same thing. So anyway though, that's pretty much what some people don't understand. The same with self checkouts. We're giving people the option to use the self checkouts on their own. Yeah, there's a person there to help you out if maybe you have a few questions or you're new to it, which I'm surprised some people still are, and I say that with all due respect. But pretty much a lot of people, pretty much that's what the self checkouts are there for. Whether they have belts, rotating belts with them, or mechanical belts on them, so you can roll your stuff, make sure your stuff comes forward if you have a lot of stuff or not. It's all about advancement in it's all about future advancement in technology to help the customer out, to make the shopping experience a little bit more easier and faster. But you got a lot of people that have this belief that that's not the case. Heck, there's a lot of people that believe, even my in-laws and such, that the camera situations and stuff like that, they're not the best thing, that you shouldn't be using those kind of things because of this and that, because of because these people are spying on you, or they're doing this or they're doing that. And then sometimes stories like the one that recently came out, you can check it up on Facebook, with the whole Amazon Ring system, whatever it is. That doesn't help out in the long run either. So, that doesn't make security stuff look good either. That's why they recommend to go with a more secure option, like a security system from Comcast or ADT or wherever. Because that if something comes up, they'll let you know right away. But the point is, the point is, everybody has these beliefs that technology is going to ruin jobs and lives, and that it should be done with. You shouldn't be dealing with this stuff. I mean, some people have even told me and many other fellows. Hold on for a sec. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Well, you said foil coverage for the birds, crackers, crackers and 7 Up. Your vitamins, your Vitamin vitamin, vitamin, 7 Up, Pedialyte, or Gatorade, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. The eggs, but we can do that tomorrow. Cause I'll pick that up. Cause I can list that for you. I'll have to check, but I get off at 5:30. Yeah. 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 No. Yeah. Yeah. fine. I'll let you know. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 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 Whatever. Okay. Yeah. Well, well, okay. Right. All right. You do. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. My mom called. She likes to call, check in on things, how things are doing, especially when she's coming back from church or coming from work or something like that. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like I was saying, you know, people have this belief, that all this technology is going to ruin things. It's going to ruin people's jobs, and that's far from the truth. That could be any further from the truth. Um, but like I said, I'm kind of glad I don't work at night because we get, like I said, we get some rude and annoying people during the day. Don't get me wrong, but we also more specifically get them at night. I'll tell you why. Uh, this past Friday, when me and my mom were doing some of the shopping to use my discount because Friday was the last day. Um, Usually, when we get lines and all that at the registers, they call out over the intercom. They say code They say code Spark. They say attention all associates code Spark, or attention associates, can we get all front end or all cashier trained associates to the front end? It's either code Spark or can we get all trained cashiers to the front end. And in other words, or cashier trained associates. That's what it is. It's usually code Spark, or usually they ring it out by saying attention all associates code Spark, or attention all associates, can we get all cashier trained associates to the front? And then they probably add in code Spark, can we get all cashier trained associates to the front? Well, they made that announcement on Friday night because they were having lines. I was already off, but I was there shopping. But they had lines. They had long lines, and when they called out over the intercom, can we have all cashier trained associates to the front, to prove that you get rude people and annoying people at night, and as well as during the day, because we've seen it during the day too, but mostly at night, and I say that with all due respect. After they make that announcement, someone yells out, "Why don't you open more lines instead?" Kind of like parodying what they announce over the intercom. Someone goes, "Why don't you open more lines instead?" And look, we get what people are saying, or how they're feeling and what they're saying by that. But the thing is, we're only assigned to do what we're supposed to do. And quite honestly, I'm saying this out of respect and love. I know that there are some fellow associates that are cashiers that don't really want to go up to the front after the 15-minute breaks. They basically take a longer 15-minute break. They add a few more minutes to it. And hey, I'm not innocent. I'm guilty of taking longer on my 15 minutes. I'll admit that. But sometimes I've noticed that some people will not come back up because they'll see the long lines and and mentally they'll think, no way I'm going up there. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to wait till it dies down. Then I'm going to go up. And what I fear is going to happen is that's going to come back to bite them, because someone's going to pull them inside and go like, yeah, you're not fooling us. We know what you're doing. So if you don't get back up here the moment we call you, we're going to have a talking or something like that. That's what I fear is going to happen. it's almost inevitable, guys. It's almost inevitable that that's what's going to happen. But yeah, again, no, well, you didn't miss too much. You just have to rewind it back while it hops. I was actually on the phone with my mom when you were probably out. Anyway, like I said, anyway, like I said, basically, you know, again, I don't really miss working at nights because of things like that. And you could tell people a little bit more different, especially on a Friday, because some people kind of had a little too much, probably sniffed a little too much, smoked a little too much, if you know what I mean. So you can definitely tell there's a difference. And again, I'm not saying that we don't get them during the day. There are times that we get people during the day, they get angry to the point that they're like, even after they get checked out, they're like, I want to talk to a manager. And they say, oh, no, 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 I don't want to talk to this manager. I want to talk to a higher ranked manager. So let's say the CSM is a manager. They come up and say, well, what can I help you with? What's the problem? And they say, oh, no, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to someone higher up. Okay, get a support manager. Oh, no, I don't want to talk to you. Higher up. In comes the assistant. Oh, no, I want to talk to the manager. Basically, we get people, even after they get checked out, so annoyed and angry that there's a long line and not a lot of registers open, that they want to talk to a manager and they want to be a manager of a higher rank, even if it's the store manager, and go like, you should have all these registers open. It's not right to have 2 or 3. You should have all the registers open. That is the right thing to do. You know why? Because not a lot of people are used to self-checkout. Do you understand me? And I'm not exaggerating sometimes, folks. I'm not. Okay, maybe I am exaggerating. Lord forgive me. But it's kind of like that. It's like they will get in an assistant manager's face, get to, you know, talk to an assistant manager, get angry with them, and then walk off angry, or whatever. Store manager, CSM support, and they'll basically point out that all registers should be open, and that, you know, not everybody's going to want to use self-checkout. I mean, here's the thing. Some of the managers I have, CSM, support, assistants, and even the store managers of the past, have all tried to explain, well, we have this, we're trying to let people do their own thing, and then the customer will counter by saying, well, not a lot of people trust those things because those things are taking people's jobs away. It's like what they believe, it's like what the news reports sometimes when it comes to these situations. It only increases people's fears. It only doubles and increases people's fears more so than ever. And in the end, it doesn't help. It doesn't help it doesn't help our company, our stores, or any other retail company in their stores. Because if we're trying to push towards this direction and say this is why we're doing it, to help you, and yet they don't want to do it because they believe what they hear on television and in the news, all the propaganda about this and that. It's like if you don't like it, then say something. Go to the higher ups, go to the head people in charge of the entire corporation, worldwide or national or nation, whatever, you know, country, whatever. Go to the higher ups, go to the CEOs if you want to, and tell them, we don't like this, go back to this. You know, because the thing is, we as associates / employees, we either work cashiers, we're sales associates, we work on the floor, in certain departments, whether we're department managers, whatever. We go in there, and it's just like with any other job. We go in there 8 to 12 hours a day, depending on position. We go in, clock in, and we work 8 to 12 hours a day with only a couple of 15-minute breaks and an hour lunch or an hour or so. Okay, what I'm trying to say is we go in there as associates / employees, assistant managers, whatever, and we work 8 to 12 hours a day. And in that time, we only get maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 15-minute breaks and 1 or 2 1-hour lunches. And we go and we don't honestly deserve, no matter what the job is, retail, teaching, whatever, we do not deserve to go into that school, or go into that job, I should say, and get dragged down by rude customers or parents or family members because we're not doing things a certain way that they want, all because we're trying to make them understand that this is the direction they want us to go in and it's actually more beneficial. We do not deserve that. But yet, we have to tolerate it because, as the old saying goes, no matter where you are, the customer is always right. You got to make the customer happy. Or the parent or family member is always right. You always got to make that person happy. It's when you get down to it, especially when it comes to the holiday Christmas season, you could only take so much. That's why you basically got to do whatever you have to do to relax. Whether you have to get on your 15 minutes or your 15-minute break or your 1-hour lunch and just go woo-sa, 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 or just go somewhere, get in your car, whatever, and just pray. Just give it all to God and let Him take care of it. Well, however you deal with the situation, it's something that customers have to understand, that we are trying to help them. We, in any retail job, doesn't matter, or any job period, we're trying to make things easier for them. And they should not believe all the propaganda that comes around. The people that they should really be blaming for situations like this are not the news. You can't really believe what comes out of the news sometimes, right? Whether or not you believe the news information, the news people you get the information from are more reliable than the other. But the point is, guys, if you're going to blame anybody for, this is going to take people's jobs, the robots are taking over, machines are taking over, you want to blame anybody for those kind of beliefs? Blame the people that manufacture the stuff and don't test it out before they send it out. Blame them. Blame them. Don't blame us. And I know that might sound weird and sounds like I'm rambling, but that's pretty much fact, guys. Don't blame the associates/employees or anybody working in any kind of job. Don't blame them because we are told to go a certain direction. Blame the people that throw this propaganda at you, that make you believe, make you paranoid and all that. Blame them. Blame the companies that don't double check and quadruple test their devices, whatever they may be, before they send them out. Blame those people. Don't blame the people that are trying to help you. And that's a fact. That is a fact. And I know it feels like I got off track when I say I'm just glad I'm not working at night anymore because of what happened on Monday. I mean, not Monday, but Friday. Again, it all stems back. Again, it's not just nights. It's days too. But basically, it all has to deal with the fact that people need to understand we're trying to help them. We're trying to make things easier. But you know what? It's not just that guy either. It wasn't just that person either. There was one lady while me and my mom were shopping for some gifts that got really angry and said something along the lines of, go get your manager. Or like, oh yeah, it don't matter. Oh yeah, you can't do this. Oh, something like, it's like one of the associates that was working at night said they couldn't really do something, which I'm pretty sure is true. And the lady gets real mad at her. It's like, blankety blank. And you could do something. Go get a manager right now. And my fellow associate that works at night, she's like, yes, ma'am. And it's like, people just don't understand rules and regulations. Just like YouTube, and Kappa and the whole situation there, depending on whether you believe what's going on or you don't, the rules and regulations that are put down, they're there to help people. We may not like the certain directions that we believe they may go in, which they may not, but rules and regulations are there, especially when it comes to a job. If we can't do something, the customer respectfully should understand that. But then again, that's how people are, especially during the holiday season. I mean, it's like, what do they want from us? We're told we got to lock up a lot of the items now in cages, even the smallest of items, all because the fact that we have people stealing stuff, more specifically teenagers stealing stuff because they don't want to go out and get a job. And thankfully, there are some people that understand it, and that more so than there are some that don't. Because the ones that don't, they need to understand that. They need to realize that, look, we don't want to have to lock these things up, but if these kids don't stop, but if these kids keep doing what they're doing, then we have no choice. There's some items, some gift set items, and all that at my job that we sell traditionally for the Christmas season. They get opened up and people take the stuff, put it in the pocket, and they're done. This past week alone, we had not one. In one day, in the same day, we not had one, but two customers, two groups of customers trying to steal stuff. Thankfully, one of the associates caught them, and what they tried to steal, what those customers tried to steal, was a combined $700 something in total, $700 something in total. And then on that same day, not even like an hour or so later, we see sheriffs / cops come into the store, and they're basically watching a couple of ladies that obviously were trying to steal stuff. And I don't know if they were supposed to be there or not. But you see what I'm saying? It's getting to that point. We're at that time of year where people are going to do whatever they have to do. They're going to have attitudes. They're going to make sure things are done in a way that they feel it should be done, even though they can't be done. They shouldn't be done that way because rules and regulations. And you're going to have people trying to sneak out with stuff. Whether it's just small items where they open up a box and go, grab this, bing! Or they try to sneak out when it's busy. It's just getting too frustrating. It's gotten too frustrating. But I thank the Lord that I've been there for 5.5 years. And through those 5.5 years, I've seen plenty. So, so honestly, guys, I know it sounds like I went off on a little rant there, but the thing is, customers need to look. I understand customers' frustrations, but they need to understand that we're doing what we can to help them. We're doing what we can to help them, have a better shopping experience. And there are thankfully people that understand that and accept that. Heck, when they say they're new to self-checkout and they want help, we go and help them. They're willing to take a chance. So honestly, guys, like I said, I know I got a little off track there with that bit of a rant or whatever. But the thing is, like I said, going back to what I said, I'm just thankful I don't work at nights anymore because of the fact that, to have somebody do that, that's the first time I think I've ever heard somebody do that. It's like, dude, we're doing what we can. Just be patient. It's like one of my family members says, be patient. Your beer ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, though, guys, I think I've said enough here, but I just thought I'd come on here, let you know what's going on briefly at the top of the video of what's going on with the channel, especially with the holidays, what's been going on, Christmas-wise, like shopping, decoration, stuff like that. and just overall, giving you sort of a, I wouldn't say an update, well, channel update, yeah, at the beginning, but basically just giving you guys a little insight of what's been going on, and basically what's what's to come and all that. So just let you guys know. So thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Thank you all for chatting in the live chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching afterwards, post live, and commenting in the comment section below. Thank you all, guys. I really appreciate it. And that's about it. I'm going to try to get something to eat right now so I can get myself ready to go to my nephew's 16th later on today. So let me know what you guys all think of what I've had to say. Have you guys dealt with this kind of stuff that I've mentioned, at your jobs or whatever? What new decorations have you brought into the house for Christmas? And if you've done some shopping already, did your job give you a discount? Let me know down below. Comment if you like, though. Thank you all for watching live. And I am out. God bless. Take care.